right, what is up? It is Anthony with Bleacher Bums Gaming, and we are back and live. We have replay baseball, and this is game number 11. Well, technically more than actually, we're in the last week of April. So I simmed ahead a few games and just want to show where I'm at currently with this. Give me just a second. All right, so these are the standings basically through the coming into the last week of April. As expected, the Philadelphia A's in the American League are in first place, followed or tied surprisingly by the Indianapolis Hoosiers from the 1914 Federal League season. The 1919 Black Sox are right behind them, and beyond that, it's 500 or worse for the American League teams, as Detroit is in fourth, followed by Boston, 1904 New York, 1912 Washington. And kind of surprised the 1908 Naps are in last place. Over in the National League, another bit of surprise here, the 16 Brooklyn Dodgers are in, or Robins at that time, in first place. Half a game ahead of 1919 Cincinnati, the 1906 Cubs. A game back, the Miracle Braves 2, 1909 Pittsburgh, the Chicago Federal League team, which started hot and has since fallen off. And one of the teams I picked as kind of a sleeper, the 1915 Philadelphia Phillies, in seventh, and the New York Giants bringing up the rear at 2-7. And again, to me, I thought that the 04-05 version of the Giants would be better, but we are going with what we have, and they're just not as good pitching-wise as those earlier teams were. So let's go to our schedule today. I've simmed some of the games already, and we have, as you see, 3 games completed. Today's feature game will be the 1919 White Sox with Red Faber. And Faber, he was injured in 1919 when the series was played. Only appeared in or started 20 games that year, in a lackluster for him 11-9 season. And by all accounts, he definitely would have been straight and narrow if he had been able to play in that World Series, which would have helped their cause. But again, 2 pitchers in the bag in Williams and Seacott. Do not know if it would have made that much of a difference, as technically Dickie Kerr picked up the games Faber would have started. And Kerr, of course, was the far and away the best White Sox pitcher in that World Series. Probably because he was the honest one. But thus far, Detroit has beat Washington, and we're on April 25th, 2-1-12. Cleveland over Boston, a tight game. The Philly or A's over the Highlanders 1-0. And Cy Morgan, as you see, going to 3-0 there. Walter Johnson lost his first game, and again, another 1-run loss, which the big train was used to. So we're going to jump in and get right to it. So for the White Sox, today's lineup will be Liebold, Collins, Buck Weaver, Shoeless Joe in cleanup, Happy Felch, Chick Gandil, Swede Risberg, Ray Schock, and of course Faber on the hill. And for the Indianapolis Hoosiers, it's going to be Bill McKechnie, Vin Campbell, Benny Koff, who tore up the Federal League and did not fare quite so well in the National League. Ed Roush, very talented player who went on to have a Hall of Fame career and is also on the 1919 Cincinnati team. Carl Vandegrift, Jimmy Esmond, Bill Raridan, Biddy Dolan, Earl Mosley is the pitcher. So we are set to go. And if anyone is in chat, I don't have another screen for that set up now because I'm in the kitchen. So I'll catch up later in the game if anyone is there. All right, again, the AI is handling most of the in-game decisions. So we're ready to play ball. Let's do it. All righty, so first up, Nemo Liebold, a left-handed batter, and he was a limited appearances in 1919, hit 303, and getting a rare start here. So here we go, Mosley with the pitch. And that's going to be a walk. So Liebold gets off or gets on to start the game for the White Sox. And they're going to waste no time in sending him as Kid Gleason flashes the sign. And here comes the throw and gun down. A good throw by Raritan, the veteran catcher. And it's one down. Brings up Eddie Collins. Ground ball down to second. Vandergrift flips it to first to Dolan. And two down. And Buck Weaver, one of the Black Sox who is kind of a cautionary tale as he pops out to McKechnie. He really did not want to be involved in the fix and had a hard time basically living up to his part in it. A lot of the word was that some of the players, including Joe Jackson, were afraid of Gandil and Risberg, especially, as those two were both kind of thuggish players as we get ready to start the bottom of the first. So Faber toes the rubber, the pitch to McKechnie, and we're going to ballpark effect. And Hoosiers Park is hitter friendly, easy single there. And that drops in front of Liebold, and the Hoosiers have their first base runner on as well. He's not trying to steal. And that's going to be a pop fly. Risberg drifts into the outfield, gloves that, one quick out. As Benny Koff hit 302, or actually that's his hitting this season, sorry. So in 1914, in real life, he played in 154 games and hit a scorching 370. I knew 302 was wrong in the at-bats. And was probably one of the most feared hitters in the Federal League. And again, that just did not translate when he was picked up by National League teams. So Faber, with his work cut out for him, here comes a pitch. It's going to be a ground or a pop fly, and Eddie Collins near the bag pulls that in. So a big out there for the White Sox as Faber now. Doesn't get any easier, though, as Ed Roush steps in. Roush hitting 400 this far this season. That's a deep fly into right field, and Liebold back near the track pulls it in as we head to the top of the second, no score. And for the White Sox, it's going to be Shoeless Joe, Happy Felch, and the despised and dastardly Chick Gandil. And that is a ground ball down to McKechnie, and McKechnie charges, whips it across the diamond, and Jackson is retired. Happy Felch, through 8 games, is hitting a anemic 115 so far in this project. Pitch, and that's a fly ball into center field. Routine play by Campbell, and 2 outs here to start the second as Chick Gandil, the dour-faced one, as you can see, steps in. Gandil in 1919, 115 games, was a solid 290 hitter. Of course, definitely overshadowed by the role he played in the World Series. And possible rare play, instead, that's going to be a dribbler to the mound. And we're going to see if he can gun him down. Gandil with a speed of 4. And not able to throw him out. Gandil, a 2-out infield single, as Mosley slipped as he planned to throw, and that brings up Gandil's main partner in crime, Swede Risberg, Chicago shortstop. And a fly ball to center field to Campbell to end the inning. And it's going to be Faber facing Vandergrift, Esmond, and Raritan, the veteran catcher. Faber toes the rubber, the pitch. And a short fly ball to left field. Shoeless Joe, full speed, pulls that in, 1 down. As Jimmy Esmond steps up. Esmond hitting 250 thus far in this project. Faber kicks, delivers a ground ball down to cocky Eddie Collins. Collins plays it routinely, sidearms it to Gandil, and 2 away. Catcher Bill Raritan hitting 148. He does have a 303 on base percentage. And another potential rare play, and that is indeed going to be a rare play. Let's see what we have. Single to deep short. Raritan is safe at first. Shortstop's long throw bounces away from the first baseman, and Raritan heading for second base. Is he going to get there? And he is not. Eddie Collins, a nice pick of the throw, and tags Raritan out. So getting a little too aggressive as we head to the third. No score in this one. And it's going to be catcher Ray Schock, the pitcher, and top of the order Niebold. Here comes the pitch. And Ray Schock, ground ball down to McKechnie, and McKechnie easily throws out Schock, who is not the speediest of base runners, 1 down. Red Faber, and again, Faber 11 and 9 in 1919. And looking at a potential rare play here is not. It's going to be a dribbler to the mound again, and we have another speed check. Faber, though, not extremely fleet, but he beats that one out as stumbling is Mosley. So another infield hit for the Sox. Both of their hits have been infield variety. And we go top of the order, and Nemo Leibold up. Leibold walked his first time up, again hitting 303 in this project. Here comes a pitch, and that's going to be his second walk of the game, pushing Faber down to second. So the Sox, a little bit of a rally here. As Mosley steps up, and that's going to be a potential infield single and an error, as that's a slow roller. Mosley having a tough time fielding his position, and that's not going to help as it's an error, and runners are going to move up one base. We have our first run of the game. So Mosley, a defensive liability for the Hoosiers, and he has helped stake the Sox to a 1-0 lead as Buck Weaver steps in. Collins at second, Leibold at third. And the pitch for McKechnie, and that's a ground ball down to Vandergrift. And Vandergrift has only one play. He goes to first, and coming in to score is Leibold. It is now 2-0 White Sox, and that will be an unearned run. And did not want that. All right, Mosley looking to get Joe Jackson. Eddie Collins on third. Here comes the pitch. And it's going to be a hard line drive right at Esmond, though, and he spears that. Would have been extra bases had it gotten into the outfield, but we head to the bottom of the third. 2-0 Chicago up over Indianapolis. And Faber to face Dolan, Mosley, and top of the order McKechnie. Pitch to Dolan, fly ball to center field. Happy Felch ranges to his left, pulls that in, one down. As Dolan back to the dugout, as Mosley kicks the dirt, adjusts his grip on the bat. Here comes a pitch from Faber, and swing and a miss, strike three. Faber going right after his counterpart, retires him on 4 pitches. And top of the order, Bill McKechnie, and McKechnie singled his first time up. Here comes a pitch from Faber. Pop fly, and Eddie Collins, easy play in shallow right field. That retires aside as we head to the fourth. 2-0 Chicago up. And for the White Sox, it'll be Happy Felch, Gandil, and Risberg as Mosley fires away. Felch, a line shot right at McKechnie, who snags that to reach his hand out to the left. A nice one-handed pick, one down for Gandil. Gandil hitting 233 in this project thus far. Swing and a miss on the slow curve. Gandil out in front, 2 down. As Swede Risberg, who flew out to center his first time up, steps up. And that's going to be a leaping catch by Esmond. Takes away a base hit and retires aside as we head to the bottom of the fourth inning. It is 2-0 Chicago up. So Faber toes the rubber as Vin Campbell steps up. Campbell popped out to Risberg his first time up, hitting a robust 357 in this project so far. And that's going to be a walk. So Campbell falls behind 1-2, works the count in his favor, and draws a free pass. He's going to try and steal. And he's going to have to hold as Faber, keeping an eye on him, holds Campbell close. Turns his attention now to the prolific Benny Koff. Here comes a pitch, and Koff, base hit up the middle. Campbell around second to third as Felch gets it back in, as the Hoosiers have something going here in the bottom of the fourth inning. The pitch to Roush, and Roush drives that into the outfield. That rattles around in the corner, and that's only going to bring in a single run, though, as Koff slips rounding third, goes back to the bag. But still, Faber in big trouble, nobody out, 2 runners in scoring position. Pitch to Vandergrift, and fly ball to center field. Felch, is that going to be deep enough? It will not be, as Koff holds at third. So 1 out for Faber, and a strikeout would come in handy here as Esmond steps in. Not going to happen, though. He's going to walk the bases loaded, which does set up the force at home or the double play. So Raritan hitting only 179 in the project so far. Looks like a choice batter for Faber to face. Here comes the pitch, And no, he comes through a single to right field, and we are all tied up. And bases remain loaded. Faber on the ropes. And Biddy Dolan looking to drive the dagger home. It's a ground ball down to second base, and they get the force. Shockingly, not playing at double play depth, an error, a tactical error there by Kid Gleason. So it is now 3-0. And Dolan's going to try and steal with the pitcher up. Faber delivers and throws over to first. Dolan has to go back, so he's going to get to face Mosley now. Comes the pitch and swing and a miss. Strikeout to end the inning, but a rough inning for Faber and the Sox as they fall behind 3-2. As we head to the top of the fifth, halfway point, it's going to be Schock, Faber, and Liebold for the Chicago 9. It's going to be a ground ball down to McKechnie. McKechnie ranges into the hole, sets his feet, throws, and Schock is retired. Red Faber up. Faber singled his first time up. And Faber, not a very good hitting pitcher. He's only had 3 at-bats, but hitting .333 in the project. As you can see, hit below 190 in real life. And Faber hits that down to Dolan. Dolan is going to take that himself. 3 unassisted, 2 down, top of the order. As Liebold, who has drawn 2 walks, as my voice cracks, the oldest person in puberty. Splash of water as Liebold continues to be a thorn in the side for Mosley as he's on first base. Eddie Collins now checks for the sign from Gleason. Do we have a hit and run going here maybe? Here comes a pitch, and that's going to be a ground ball down to second and close play at first. Stretching, and Collins nipped by a half a step. Nice play by Vandegrift, ranging behind the back to pluck that and retire Collins. So we head to the bottom of the fifth, still 3-2. Hoosiers in front, as it's going to be McKechnie who leads off the inning with a base on balls. And looking for a potential early hook now for Faber based on his last inning. Is McKechnie trying to steal, and McKechnie is going to be gunned down by Schock. Schock, 2 for 2 in retiring batters on steal attempts today, and that might get Faber a little bit extra time in this game, as that's going to be a line drive right at Felch. Felch coming in a couple of steps, snags that, 2 down, and Benny Koff, the batter. Koff today has popped out and singled. It's going to be a deep fly to right field. Liebold back near the line in the corner, pulls it in as we head to the sixth. It is still 3-2. Chicago up. And it will be Weaver, Jackson, and Felch. Here we go, Mosley. Pitches to Weaver, line drive single into center field in front of Campbell. Weaver down to first base, and the Sox in business here. A leadoff base runner in the sixth, and Shoeless Joe Jackson. Jackson is 0 for 2. He is due. Here comes the pitch, and they're going to have him bunt. Gleason with the bunt call, and that's going to be bunted at McKechnie, and a successful sacrifice. Jackson retired at first, Buck Weaver down to second, and the Sox tying run in scoring position for Happy Felch. Chick Gandil awaits in the on-deck circle, spitting tobacco juice. And swing and a miss, a big strikeout by Mosley. And that eases the burden on Mosley now as he gets ready to face Gandil, who is singled and struck out. Gandil digs in, the pitch, and another strikeout. Back-to-back Ks, and that's 2 and 3 for Mosley as we head to the bottom of the frame. 3-2 Indianapolis up, and it's going to be Roush, Vandegrift, and Esmond. Faber the pitch, and Roush, his second double of the day as he ripped that down into the right field corner. Liebold lobs it into the cutoff man. Roush in standing up, and he has tagged Faber today. Vandegrift now steps up to the plate. He's going to try and lay down a bunt and get Roush to third, and that's going to be a successful sacrifice. Bunted to Gandil, and Gandil has to go to Collins covering, 1 down. Insurance 90 feet away as Faber needs a strikeout or a pop-up here. And that's going to be down to Collins, grounder, and only plays to first base as Roush comes in to score. Indianapolis extends their lead to 4-2. 2 outs, base is clear for Reardon, and a ground ball down to Risberg. Risberg ranging behind the bag, squares up and retires him with a throw to Gandil as we head to the 7th. It's going to be Risberg, Schock, and Faber. And we'll see if Gleason will leave Faber in to hit if the Sox getting base runners. But Risberg, that's the 3rd strikeout in a row for Mosley as he looked foolish going after that curveball. And Ray Schock is grounded out to McKechnie twice. Here comes a pitch. We're going to have a ballpark effect, and again, a very friendly hitter's park, but not this time. And that's going to be a fly out to center field. So Schock did not get the favorable modifier, and 2 down. Faber, let's see if he'll be called back. They're going to let him hit, and that's going to be a strikeout. So McKechnie, 4 strikeouts in the last 2 innings, 4 all told, or 5 all told for the game. So Faber back on the hill for the bottom of the 7th inning. As we get through the 7th inning stretch, it's going to be Dolan, Mosley, and McKechnie. Faber needs a quick 1-2-3 inning here. That's going to be a ground ball down to Collins. And Collins, routine play to first, 1 down. Pitcher Mosley up. He's struck out twice. And let's see if he gets him again. Yep, swing and a miss. Mosley looking foolish with that bat. He's twirling a 4-hitter, though, so all is forgiven as McKechnie, 1 for 2 with a walk, steps up. That's going to be a ground ball down to Gandil, and Gandil flips it underhand to Faber as we head to the top of the 8th. Sox running out of time. They need to get a rally going. They've got the top of the order up. Liebold, Collins, and Weaver. Mosley, though, looking fresh still. Here comes a pitch, and that's going to be a ground ball back to Mosley, who finally fields his position. The short throw to Dolan, 1 down. Cocky Eddie Collins, college graduate, which was rare in the early part of the 20th century. And Collins is 1 for 3, 2 groundouts and a single. Reared in the pitch, and that's going to be a pop fly. McKechnie into foul territory pulls that in, 1 down. Smiling Buck Weaver steps up, and Weaver, he is 1 for 3 today as well with an RBI. Here comes a pitch, and deep fly to left field, but Roush, plenty of room. He's going to get there, 2-hands it, and secures a 3rd out as we head to the bottom of the 8th. Still 4-2, and Faber, again, needs to keep things tight here to give his team a chance. Here comes a pitch, and swing and a miss. Campbell goes down. And Faber had that ball juiced up. It had some funny movement and dipped out of sight when it got to the plate. Benny Kopp up. He is 1 for 3, and Kopp has singled and popped out, flown out to right. Here comes a pitch, and drive into center field. Felch ranging to his right, sets his feet, pulls it in, 2 down. Roush has been a nightmare today. He is 2 for 3, 2 doubles, RBI. And let's see if Faber pitches around him. Here we go. And that'll be a high fly ball into center field, but routine for Felch, and side is retired. 3 up, 3 down. We go to the top of the 9th. 4-2, Indianapolis in front, and last chance for the Sox. It's going to be Shoeless Joe, Happy Felch, and then the dirty duo, Gandil and Risberg, if anyone gets on. Mosley looking to finish this. Here comes a pitch, and Jackson loops out over Roush's head and into second. Stand-up double. So the Sox in business. Happy Felch. Let's see if he'll try and move him along. Corners are in. Pitch to Felch, and they have Felch bunt, which makes no freaking sense with a 2-run deficit. But Kid Gleason did take them to 2 World Series, so I don't question that. Now 90 feet away, but that run is insignificant. Would have been better to let Felch hit away as Chick Gandil steps up. Gandil struck out his last 2 times up. Not this time, though. A line drive into center field and a chance for extra bases running against Finn Campbell and holds him to a single. So batter's face boost check is successful for Mosley. He's going to get to face 7 more, but it's only a 1-run game now, and tying runs at first base. Swede Risberg, who has flown out, line out, and struck out, steps in. And it's going to be a pop fly. McKechnie comes in just past the dirt, pulls it in for the second out of the inning. And Ray Schock, and a pinch hitter if Schock gets on. Schock so far has grounded out twice, flown out to center, and ballpark effect. Is he going to get a favorable result? Not really, and that's a fly ball to left, and that is the ball game for folks. So razor thin game. Sox made a run of it in the ninth, unable to get it done, and Earl Mosley is amongst the best pitchers in the league so far in this project. He moves to 3-0. Faber falls to 0-2 as we're going to take a look at our box score. So for Chicago, left 5 on base. Indianapolis made the most of their opportunities, only leaving 3 on base. And the hitting stars for the Hoosiers, definitely Ed Roush, 2 doubles, 2 runs scored in a ribby, and Bill Raritan, 2 hits and an RBI as well. Over to the Sox, the dirty bastard Chick Gandil with a couple of hits and an RBI. Pitching-wise, and again, nobody successful stealing today. McKechnie, gunned down by Ray Schock, and Leibold gunned down by Raritan. So Faber goes a distance. His ERA, though, is a miserable 6.59 early in the season. Mosley moves to 3-0, his ERA at 2.45. And let's finish the rest of the games for this day. As back to the schedule, Chicago, the 1915 Federal League version against the 06 Cubbies. And Cubbies 6-4, looking to move up in the standings. Lundgren against Bailey. And the Cubs get the 4-3 victory, another squeaker. Lundgren's going to go the distance and get the victory, scattering 8 hits, and he has a 1.50 ERA and a 2.0 record. For the Cubbies, Harry Steinfeld at the hot corner boosted his average to 3.51, hammering out 4 of the Cubs' 9 hits, however only scoring 1 run out of all that. And our final game of the day, Christy Mathewson trying to give his faltering 1912 Giants some life against first place Brooklyn and that New York rivalry. See if Matty can pull it off. And Matty with a gem, scattering 8 hits in the shutout. Home run by Beals Becker for the Giants, as we'll check the box score on that. So Mathewson gave up a couple of doubles. Maury and Wheat and Marquardt, the opposing pitcher and former teammate of Matty's, all had 2 hits. But he did a good job there. 0 for 7, you see the Robins were with runners in scoring position, while the Giants were 3 for 7. And they blew this game open with a 5-run 7th inning. And of course, again, the home run by Beals Becker, a 2-run shot. And Christy Mathewson, 1 walk and 5 strikeouts to go with his 8-hit shutout. So that gets his ERA down significantly down to 3.12, still above Matty's standards. But 1 game left for this day, and that is going to be, 2 games left. Pittsburgh and the Miracle Braves, 2 teams in the middle of the pack. And Pittsburgh's going to get this behind a 3-hit shutout by Nick Maddox. Bill James, the ace of the Boston staff, falls to 1-2, but very similar to how he started in 1914. And our final game of the day, the surprising 1919 Reds against the so far disappointing Phillies. Again, I picked them as my dark horse, and they hammer out a 9-1 win here as Gabby Cravath, one of the premier power hitters of the Deadball era, gets his second. Take a quick look at that box score. As both teams have 11 hits, but Cincinnati unable to capitalize as they go a miserable, look at that, 0 for 13 runners in scoring position. And Cravath, a couple of RBIs with that home run. And Niehoff also hammered one over the fence, a 2-run shot. So Cincinnati, Hot Eller falling to 0-2, got shelled, knocked out of the box in the sixth as Erskine Mayer evens his record at 1-1, going the distance for the Phillies. So that's going to wrap up play for the Monday, April 25th. Deadball Super League games are updated standings. Indianapolis in the American League still strong, half-game lead over the Athletics. Cleveland and Washington bringing up the rear. And over in the National League, New York still in the basement. Christy Mathewson has 2 of their 3 wins. And a tie up top now between the 06 Cubs and the 16 Brooklyn Dodgers. So that's going to do it. And we'll say goodbye. From Hoosier Park, this is Anthony with Bleacher Bums Gaming. And again, very much enjoying this game. Replay Baseball, an excellent PC port of a very good cards and dice baseball game. So we'll be back. I'll probably sim ahead a week or so and come back with another game of the week with our next stream. Also, a preview fight of the upcoming next Glory Days boxing set, which is another supplemental mix set. And probably going to highlight some of the Super 6 middleweights or super middleweights in that preview stream, which probably in the next week or so is still in the middle of rating the set, but I do have all of the super middleweights done. So we'll take a look at who's coming up in that division. And also back to 1908, the post-Merkel game replay, the 1908 pennant stretch featuring Field Day Baseball, or I'm sorry, oh goodness gracious. The other game, Fall Classic Baseball, that is produced by the same company. Field Day Baseball, I actually just ordered. He just finished the 1978 set. And I very much like the mechanics. They're interested in that. So that's we're going to do a Let's Play and review of that game once it gets here. No replays planned with that yet, as I've got a few others going on. So that's what's upcoming on the channel. Hope you all have a good rest of your Thursday. Anthony with Bleacher Bums Gaming. We'll see you later. Take care, everyone.